Of putting in so much hard work to see little to no results? Are you confused because you feel like you are eating healthy, yet the body still isn't changing? Or are you like how I used to be? You know what to do, yet you just don't do it. You see, it's not about how you work out or even what you eat. It's about our habits we do day to day that form who we are and what we look like. So how do I change my habits to ultimately succeed? That is the question. These mindset secrets are the answer. Welcome, warriors. Let's dive in. What is up, everybody? I don't know if it looks like on your side, but I'm kind of disappearing right now. There we go. Let me take off my glasses. What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Mindset Secrets. If you're on right now, what I want you to do is like it, drop a comment, say, "What up, Luke?" Because that is when I know who the serious people are. And as you guys know, those who plug into these not only get the best results, but they keep the best results. I don't care if you lose weight. I care if you keep that weight off, and I'm sure you feel the same. So congratulations to you to actually taking the time to watch this. So again, leave comments, ask questions, do whatever you need to do, and let's dive in. We're almost through with our series. We're going on question 9 of 10 tonight, and we're talking about the fulfillment question. And for those of you, again, that are brand new or just joining us for the first time or maybe second time, don't worry, we're going to recap it. And then also you could look at any of our past videos and this entire series inside of your member portal. So don't forget to go back and kind of check things out. There's even worksheets in there that you could fill out along with these videos. All right, so put your dreams to the test. The fulfillment question. And again, for the brand new people, the series is Put Your Dreams to the Test, so we'll, exactly as it says, put your dream to the test. And what we did in the first week was write down at least 4 of our dreams in different areas of our lives. So we may be talking about health and fitness dreams, we may be talking about financial dreams, we may be talking about relationship dreams, we may be talking about your faith dreams, whatever you do want to pursue. And these 10 questions are kind of the foundation. So just as a recap, the definition of a dream: an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, your will, and emotions, empowering you to do anything you can to achieve it. And so we know most people have a dream, yet most people have no idea how to achieve their dreams. And so we have 10 questions that we cover throughout this entire series that will not only help us be able to see our dream, but to help us seize our dreams. And so far, this is what we've covered. We've covered the ownership question, which is whatever you think, be sure it is what you think. Whatever you want, be sure it is what you want. Whatever you feel, be sure it is what you feel. Basically, what that's saying is just make sure your dream is your dream. It's not something your parents thrust upon you. It's not something that you thought society told you to be, but it's truly you. And we're actually going to cover a lot of that tonight in the fulfillment. The clarity question: do you have a vision to clearly see your dream? Are you taking the time to see your dream all the way through? And the biggest mistake we saw is most people actually start with a strategy. They get this idea in their head, like me, or if you have like any type of like entrepreneurship, we have this shiny object syndrome, right? Like we're doing something, and then a week later we see something else, and we're like, oh, that's cool, let's do that. Instead of actually like seeing it, we just kind of hop from one thing to the next. The reality question: am I depending on factors within my control? Is your dream actually play within your strengths, right? The passion question: are you working on something that you're actually excited about, something that you care about? And one easy way to know this is you don't have to feel forced. You don't have to be pushed to work on your dream. It actually pulls you. You wake up excited to go after it. The pathway question: we talked about the acronym SECURE and what you need to do to make sure, like, on this path to your dream, it is actually secure. So make sure you go back and watch that. And then finally, we talked about the people question. It is important to not only have the right team, but you also have to know how to transfer your dream onto your team. the cost question. Are you willing to pay the price for your dream? And we found out that most people actually quit when that cost becomes too much. The cost could be financial, but usually not. The cost is usually emotional, whatever else there is. There's a lot of cost. And then we have the tenacity question that we talked about last week. Are you moving closer to your dream? Do you have what it takes? So this week, chapter 9 of our series, question 9, does working toward my dream bring satisfaction? Satisfaction. Yeah, I said that right. All right, so the fulfillment. So when it comes to fulfillment, there's always a huge gap between the birth of a dream and the achievement of that dream, right? Sometimes that gap could be 1 year, sometimes it could be 100 years if you live to be 100. But the fulfillment gap, it's usually between one or two things. It's a fulfillment gap or it's a frustration gap. And if it is a frustration gap, you're going to be miserable most of the days you are in it. And every day you are frustrated, you lessen, I spelled that wrong, but lessen the odds of achieving your dreams. All right, so make sure that it's actually like fulfillment and you're just not frustrated going through everything. So there's something called the dip. And I know every single one of us has gone through this. And so the moment you set out to do something and when you actually start seeing significant results, this is called the dip. So in your handout, there's also this picture, but think about this. How many, let's say we just finished a 28-day challenge with a lot of people, or even people going through the 21-day challenge or whatever your personal challenge is. How many of you start off on your health and fitness journey? You got results right away, right? So there's the results on the left side where it goes up and down, and then the effort from left to right. So how many of you started off, you put in all this, you put in work, and you lost like 5 pounds the first week, right? I think I even talked to someone about it this week. And so you got great results. And then here comes the dip, right? This dip could happen 1 week into your journey. It could happen 2 weeks into your journey. It could happen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks into your journey. But we all go through. We hit the dip where we're on this high. Everything's going great. And then it slows down. And then it actually gets worse. And it gets worse. And it gets worse. And then we're at rock bottom. And we think this is the worst thing ever, even though we're doing better than when we first started. But then eventually something clicks, or our bodies just adjust, and we get nothing but amazing results after. Where most people fail and where most people give up is right there in that dip. Go ahead and comment down below if you feel like you're currently going through a dip. Comment down below if you've already gone through a dip. And be honest, have you quit during the dip before? Maybe this is your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 10th time trying to lose weight or get results. I know for me, I failed multiple times, right? So this is the dip, and that's what you have to get through to achieve your dream. You must go through the dip to realize your dream. That is how you know if it's truly your dream, if you're willing to go through that dip. If you quit during that dip, then what you thought was your dream was truly never your dream. It was just some thing that seemed great at the moment until life got hard and you go through a dip and then you quit, right? But many of us, every single one of us does have a dream that it's worth to go through that dip for. For this group, is the results that you came here for worth that dip? Whatever that dip may be for you, is it worth it? Because you have to go through it to realize your dream. So there's 5 ways to know that you're truly fulfilled, right? Number 1, fulfilled people understand the difference between the dream and its realization. So there's 2 kind of themes here. There's the ideals. What could happen if everything was perfect? That's usually what most people think of, right? We think of our dream. We think of the perfect scenario. Man, if I do this, we run the numbers, do everything like this is perfect. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds in 30 days. So that's what happens. Everything could be perfect. And then there's the actuals. Like what actually happens, what will happen, because everything is not perfect. So you kind of need both scenarios, right? But what's going to help you along the journey, what's going to help you along the dip, the actuals, what will happen, because everything is not perfect. And is that willing, if everything that you plan out doesn't go to plan, how will you react, how will you pivot, will that allow you to keep going and chasing after your dream? We have number 2. Fulfilled people understand the size of the dream determines the size of the gap. The bigger the goal, the bigger the gap. That's just the way it works. And the more the dream grows, the more you must grow. I can't tell you how many, like, the closer you get to your goal every single time. Let's just take this from a weight loss perspective. Let's say you need to lose 100 pounds. The closer you are to losing 100 pounds, the harder and harder and harder it gets. It's really easy. I'm not going to lie. It's super easy to lose that first 20 pounds because you have 100 of it to lose. But then around 20, the moment you lose 20 pounds, you can't do the same thing you did to lose the first 20 pounds to lose the next 20 pounds. And then once you lose that 40 pounds, you can't do the same thing to lose the next 40 that you did the last 40, right? And then it goes on and on and on, and you have to keep growing. It doesn't mean you have to completely change everything. It just means you have to either grow in some area of your life, maybe as a person, maybe how you talk to your family about your goals, maybe about how you cook dinner for your kids. But something needs to change in your life to keep going into the next thing. And so our gaps keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as our goals keep getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. We have number 3. Fulfilled people appreciate each step in their journey. I love this one. So Jim Rohn says the twin killers of success are impatience and greed. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I come up with a challenge, especially if it's like one of my dreams, right? So we could talk about anatomy, we could talk about fitness, we could talk about results. But when I run into any kind of challenge, like even the worst of the worst cases, like I love it. I love the bad times as much as I do the good times, because I mean it's easy to love the good times. Everything's flying high, everyone's happy, everyone's high-fiving, the money's coming in, whatever it may be, right? But then in the bad times, I love it because it challenges me to think, how am I going to get out of this? What am I going to do? What different things do I need to come up with? And it allows you to get creative and try new things and whatever it may be. And I love like that, and there's plenty of it. I'm in it almost every day, but I love the bad times as much as the good times. And is that true for you, for the goal that you're coming after? If you gain 5 pounds instead of lose 5 pounds, are you crying and whining and wondering what's wrong with you and blaming genetics and whatever it may be, going to go get your thyroid checked, right? Or do you consider it a challenge and figure out what you need to change to move forward? You have to love every step of the journey. I wouldn't say love. You have to appreciate each step of the journey. And the only way that you're going to fail is if you let one of those twin killers attack you, which is impatience or greed, which is very, very easy to get impatient along your journey. Even if it takes you a year, even if it takes you 2, 3, 4 years. In my case, it took me 5 years to reach my goals. I still live an extra 50 to 60 years of my life. You have to always look at the bigger picture and don't let impatience take that away from you. Number 4, fulfilled people make new discoveries while living in the gap, right? So you have to get creative. You have the potential to make many wonderful discoveries in the pursuit of your dream. None will be greater than what you discover about yourself. Every single time I personally get stuck in any of my dreams, it's usually has nothing to do what I physically need to do. Like it has nothing to do with, well, let's talk about reaching the next physical results. It has nothing to do with what I need to eat. It has nothing to do I need to work out harder? It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Most of the time, like 99.9% of the time, it has to do with me as a person. Who do I need to become to reach that result? And it's crazy when your mind starts shifting that way and you start changing who you are as a person, your body starts changing as well. You still eat the same stuff, you still work out the same way, yet you have a new identity of who you are, and that causes the change. So if you feel like you've been stuck for a long time and you feel like, hey, I'm doing exactly what my coach is telling me to do, I'm working out 3 to 5 times a week, but my body's not changing, maybe you need to stop focusing on the outside circumstances and focus on who you are. Because when you change that, I promise you everything else will change. And then you're going to reach a certain new result, and then you're going to have to change again. And then you reach a new certain result, and you have to change again. And it is the hardest thing to do to change because it is just one of those unknowns, right? You have this identity for so long. You have this circle of friends who know you as one person. What are they going to think if I start changing? And all of these scenarios go through our mind. But what you need to, instead of wondering what other people are going to think of you, you just need to find more people aligned with your goals. Number 5, fulfilled people buy into the natural law of balance. Life is both good and bad. So there's optimists, as we all know, who tend to think is all good. And then we have pessimists who think everything is all bad. Now, it's good to know that neither of them are correct, right? To the reach of a dream, one needs to be proactive in the bad times as in good. You can't just be an optimist and think everything is good all the time, because it's not. There's truly bad times, but it's how you look at those bad times. It's not, you don't want to say there's never any bad time. To say, okay, I'm going through a bad time right now. How can I get out of this? And then there's the reverse, that just everything's bad. Even the good things are bad. Oh, I only lost 10 pounds. Wah. Right? I'm not talking about anyone specific. If you feel like I'm talking to you, then I am. So, in closing, this one's really short because it's just like, I feel like this one's really straight to the point, and like you get it or you don't. If you don't get it, then rewatch this, and this is one that you need to work on how to be fulfilled. The successful people do what is right, no matter how they feel, and by doing right, they feel good. Say that again. The successful people do what is right, no matter how they feel, and by doing right, they feel good. Now, on the contrary, the unsuccessful people wait to feel good before doing what is right. And as a result, they neither do what is right nor feel good. How else can we say this? Let's say the successful people work out no matter how they feel, no matter if they're motivated or not, right? And by working out, they feel good. The unsuccessful people wait to be motivated before they actually do a workout. And as a result, they don't work out and they don't feel good. The successful people meal prep when they feel good about it. And because of doing that, they feel good, right? The unsuccessful people wait to be motivated, wait to be disciplined to start meal prepping. And as a result, they never meal prep and they never feel good. So you could twist this around however you want, but the key is no matter how you feel, you have to take your emotions out of this and be a machine kind of type of thing. I mean, you of course have emotions, but you just take away like you can't be emotional about your emotions, right? If I only worked out when I was motivated, I would never work out. I hate working out. I'm not going to lie, like 90% of the time, I do not want to work out, but I do it because now it is a habit, and it's because I am that person who works out. And that's what you have to become. You have to become that person. And you could only do that by taking the small steps of doing things when you don't feel like doing them. and eventually you will feel like doing it. A great example of this is brushing your teeth, right? I think this is the last slide. When we're younger, what happens when we want to brush our teeth? We usually don't want to brush our teeth, and every single night our parents made us brush our teeth. And then the next night comes and we're going to bed and we try to get out of it, and then our parents tell us, hey, go brush your teeth, and then they make us brush our teeth. And then the next night, same thing and same thing and same thing for months, for maybe a year. And now that we're adults, what happens every single night? We brush our teeth and no one has to tell us. The same thing is going to happen to you when it comes to eating healthy. The same thing is going to happen to you when it comes to working out. You may have to be told, you may have to be reminded now. But if you do it consistently over and over and over again, there will be a time in your life when you don't have to be told anymore, and it just naturally happens because that is the person who you are. And that is the fulfillment question. Again, for those of you who watched or caught part of it or rewatched it, please comment down below. Let us know that you watched it. And what I really want to know is, what is 1, 2, or 3 things? What is something that you could take away that you're going to apply this next week in life? Because I can't tell you how many times people they hear something, they get motivated, but there's no action. So let me know the one action step that you're going to take, that you're going to apply to your next life or next week. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you